Mayor's Luncheon first started in 2012 after the city of St. Albert at that time held the Winter Special Olympics. So after that, the mayor at that time was kind of looking at some options for a legacy project, and so the then executive director and myself chatted to him about the possibility of having this Mayor's Luncheon. The whole idea is having those leaders of the communities kind of setting the tone. They might not be able to do everything, but they can set the tone for the types of communities that they want to see, where people belong and are included and have access. So that's kind of how it came about.
The Mayor's Luncheon is an opportunity for municipal leadership to set the tone in their cities for how diversity matters. Inclusive employment needs to be really seen as a necessary strategy as well as a way to future-proof everything that we're doing. The next steps for Gateway is to bring back this conversation around equity and inclusion and centering voices that we don't usually center.
When you can really feel like you're included and that you belong somewhere, then you can bring more of your full sense of self to work. Right? This is something that when I think about that, even from the business side, then if you aren't able to bring your full sense of self to work, then you're using some kind of cognitive effort into hiding or covering that part of yourself. If you don't have to worry about those pieces, you can bring your full self to work and focus on the job at hand. I think probably the benefit for an event like this is for the opportunity to connect with other employers who have the same goal. I think there's an inherent competition to employers, right? So we want to be the best and get the best people, but as they say, a rising tide lifts all boats. And so if we can share about how we're doing this inclusive hiring and overcoming these obstacles that we're facing as employers and share that with each other, then that's how we all win.
When people feel that they can use their skills are appreciated, they're either in the company of or in a company where they are accepted, they perform better and they tend to stay. With the cost of replacing somebody in the tens of thousands of dollars, the more we can keep people, the better off we are financially. And we have a saying at work, speed of the leader, speed of the team. So when you have an opportunity to speak to community leaders, business leaders, and people who have the influence and get their buy-in and get their practical knowledge and get them engaged, you then have the power to affect more than just one person. They'll bring it back to their communities, they'll bring it back to their business associates, their chambers, and then it just ends up, if not changing anything, at least starting the conversation.
I think the Mayor's event is such a fun event. It allows us to get together to kind of celebrate what we have been doing to increase awareness around the importance of equity, diversity, and inclusion. I think it's really important at this time in our workforce history to really ensure that people are aware of the coming demographic changes. Thinking about problems is important, but acting on them is what grants you solutions. I think one of the main ways that Gateway has been innovative is actually by putting some of their own purpose to work. One of the things that is important to them is transforming community through the lens of disability and how much it has to teach us about ways to better include people. Really, when employers hire a person with a disability, they tend to pay unprecedented attention to what is this person great at, what might they need accommodation or flexibility around, and how do I need to effectively communicate with, mentor, and include this person. And what they realize pretty quickly is that that added attention to the onboarding process and the inclusion of this particular diversity group actually makes them a better employer, and that they should be doing that with everyone. So again, that transforming community through the lens of disability is such a profound purpose at Gateway.